Hola, mi gente. It's your girl here. Hope everyone is doing well. And if you're not, I'm going to need you to listen to my message. So my message today, and the thoughts that are coming through my mind right now, is the changes that are happening right now has a lot of people feeling different, witnessing craziness. So there is a change, a collapse of old ways, and new is coming. What I mean by that, and what does this have to do with self-love, self-first? Because you know everything I speak about has everything to do with self-love, self-first now. And the reason why I have to mention this to you is because if you are self-loving, self-first, which is the solution to everything that's happening today. This is the solution to putting you and placing you in putting yourself first and dealing with life the best way you know how. Yes, the solution is self-love, self-first. Let me explain. So, they call it the Matrix, right? They call it programming. You know, they call it the old earth. They call it 3D. There's a lot of names to it. And when change is in the air, when life is a little different, when things do not seem the same, this is exactly what's happening. But I have a solution for you. I have an answer for you. Because I've been adjusting to this for quite some time. And I've had the opportunity to do it on my time. But see, now what's happening today is a lot of people are going to be forced to either make a decision or stay stuck in your attitudes, stay stuck in the old way of living and be miserable. So now, again, the solution to all of this is self-love, self-first. Why? Because when you are sitting there practicing self-love, self-first, which entails making better decisions, living in truth, loving yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. You understand? When you are eating well, when you're exercising, when you are taking yourself away from folks who do not serve you, that's what self-love, self-first is. When you are tapping into your divinity, that's what self-love, self-first is. When you're making better decisions for yourself financially, you understand? When you are becoming a minimalist, that is self-love, self-first. And that is what's needed for today. Minimalist. Keep things simple. Out with the old and allow for yourself to embrace the new that's coming. Even if the new isn't really much. Even if the new is very basic. And you're like, well, I'm used to living in abundance. Okay, fine. But when you're resetting, sometimes you got to start somewhere, right? And it's okay to let go things and just wipe the slate clean. And then rebuild. It is okay for you to unlearn what you've already been programmed to know and understand in ways of living, to adapt to what we have today. And you can do that through self-love, self-first. Having patience with yourself. Resting when needed. I'm not saying being lazy. I didn't say be lazy. I said rest. Because you know the body does need rest. Stop popping all kinds of medicines in your body. Learn how to heal naturally. Learn how to eat naturally. Stop eating all those processed foods. Stop eating all those processed foods. Start learning how to be quiet instead of reacting so quick to every situation that you're going through. Learn how to not be in your mind so much and thinking that everything that's happening to you is happening because it's an attack towards you. You understand? And because you're self-loving self first, I'm going to need you to stop thinking that that type of energy is selfish. It's not a selfish trait. It's actually one of the most valuable things that you can ever do to yourself. And you can ever, it's an impact. And it's a phenomenal impact that you can adjust into your life. So like I said, I've been doing this for quite some time, so I've had my time to adjust and learn and figure out, how does this work? What is the science behind this? Does this really matter? And yes, it actually does. It matters a lot. It matters a whole lot. So I'm going to need you to learn how to pace yourself. Again, like I said before, make better decisions. And when I say make better decisions, I'm not talking about survival mode decisions. I'm talking about the decision that is not going to give you a heartache. The decisions that are not going to bring you more stress. The decisions that are inorganic. I'm going to need you to start thinking about how people used to live in how the kids say, the olden days, the Egyptian times, how the Indians used to live out here. How would you live if you were living out in a forest and you didn't have all the technology that you have? I'm going to need you, talking about technology, learn how to start putting your phone on airplane mode. Cut that Wi-Fi from going into your phone. I'm going to need you to stop going to sleep with your phone in your hand. I'm going to need you to let your phone be charging somewhere else far away from you. It's possible where you may need to turn off all your electronics before you go to sleep. I don't know if that's too much for you, but it's, you know, if that works for you, then that works for you. I'm going to need you to learn how to be organized if you're not already. Because this energy requires for you to step up and live your best life today. But your best life doesn't mean popping bottles and drinking champagne and eating all kinds of gross foods that give your body no nutritional value, that have no nutritional value towards your body. Because you know how they say you are what you eat, correct? So what happens when you eat pork? What is pork? It's a pig. Are you a pig? I don't know. I'm just saying. And if you're insulted, then maybe you need to think about what you're eating. Because I'm not here to be kind about you making change. I am here to bring light to the situation where change is needed. When you self-love self first, I take this very serious, because when you self-love self first, and not serious to the point where there has to be anger. Self-love self first requires dedication. It requires consistency. It requires a huge change. It requires for you to change your perspective. It requires you to live off of highest frequencies at all time. And when you're worried and you're in fear, you need to understand that is a very low vibrational trait. It's a very low vibrational trait when you're arguing, when you're angry, when someone who pees you off, when pisses you off, you react towards that. That's a very low vibrational trait. I'm going to need you to do better. Those are considered self-love, self-first traits. Love, kindness, compassion, empathy. You understand? And not only do you give it to people, because giving those things to people is okay. You need to give this stuff to yourself first so you can understand the value of it. Learn how to be compassionate towards yourself. Learn how to be kind towards yourself. Learn how to respect your temple. Learn how to respect your aura. Learn how to respect you. It's important. Those are self-love, self-first traits. And when you learn how to live life like that towards yourself, when you learn how to love yourself, then you'll understand the value, the time that it takes to live on that lifestyle or have that lifestyle on a daily basis, in every situation, with everyone you meet, in every decision you make. It takes time to adjust, though, I tell you that much. It takes work. Ooh, it takes work. It ain't easy at first because it's a change. And for those who are living this life, honey, for those who are in that, I give you praises because you're doing a great job. Continue that. You may be living life and think like, oh, this is where's the outcome for this? Wait, slow down. You just planted your seed, and I need for you to wait for the blossoming. The blossom comes every single day in situations where it may be small, minute, and you don't even notice. Why? Because you're in the frequency of everything works out for you, right? And when everything works out for you, you got to also learn how to be grateful in those moments when you are protected and you don't even know. When things work out for you and you don't even know. So for the unknown and for all the knowns, I'm going to need you to start saying thank you every single day, whether you realize it or not. There's a shift when you become grateful. There's a shift when you say thank you. There's a shift when you are loved, when you're loving, when you're receiving it, especially when you're receiving it. Oh, baby, that's like amazing. You understand? So imagine you have to learn how to give it to yourself first so you can even understand what it means to receive it. For my ladies, I'm going to need you guys to really, really tap into being very feminine. And feminine is not weak. You understand? This world has programmed a lot of women to be boss bitches. You understand? That word is not something that you want to continue calling yourself, because you're going to definitely have boss bitch lifestyle. And there's going to be a lot of times where you'll be crying and not understanding, why is my life like this? I'm a boss bitch. This doesn't happen to me. For me, cancel, cut, delete, because I don't want that type of energy. I don't. You can have that if that's what you want. You understand? You get what you ask for. The words that you speak, you get that. You want to be loving. You want to be receiving. You want to be feminine. Yes, you definitely have to have a balance of feminine and masculine, because this world, and it's not even about this world and what it makes you do and what is needed. It's that you want that balance in your life. So you want to tap into both being feminine and masculine. I'm going to need you to do both, not just one. You understand? Because you can't cry and then be like, oh, because that's being feminine when you're crying. And then yelling at the top of your lungs, you know, it's a bit aggressive. So you're actually tapping into both, but you're doing it on a low vibrational trait. Tap into both masculine and feminine on a high vibrational trait and see what it does for you. Change the energy around you. Learn how to control your feelings. Learn how to control your emotions. Learn how to control your responses. Not every time, you got to start saying this, like, not everything is worth me responding to. The less low vibrational things you respond to, the higher frequency you start becoming. Because then you start to really understand that not everything is for you. Like, we're not doing this. And you got to stand on that. You understand? So learn, understand yourself, grow you. What works for me may not work for you. However, it's still the same outcome. You understand? And I'm going to need you guys to learn how to master yourself in order for you to understand what self-love, self-first is on a daily basis. Don't miss a beat. And if you do, come right back into it. Check yourself. You understand? And then come step right back in, because not every day is going to be perfect. Especially if you're learning, if this is new for you. If you're trying to find a difference in your life. If you want more, it's got to start somewhere. But it's got to start with you. It's not going to start with nothing outside of you. Your job, your family, your friends, nobody outside of you, your relationships, your kids. It's not going to start with anyone but you. You must put that work in for yourself. And yes, honey, it is possible. I need you to really, really believe that and know that and live that every single day. Every single day. You understand? I'm going to need you to tap into meditation too. That is amazing. Especially when you become an expert at meditation. It is amazing. It is so rejuvenating. So rejuvenating. Like, I'll share something right now with you. The energy today is a little different, I must admit. And even me, myself right now, I woke up with a headache and I was like, ooh, I didn't go to sleep with a headache, so why am I feeling like this? My old self would have went to the medicine cabinet, took an Advil, a Tylenol, or something, or some kind of like headache reliever before I went to work, because I don't want to go to work with a headache. Instead, and this ain't easy, but instead, I did a little meditation. My headache subsided. However, I'm coming back home now, and my headache is back. Maybe because of the fact that where I was, there was a lot of toxicity there. So I probably didn't even realize that my headache was still there. But I do believe that meditation soothes certain pains when you focus on the pain changing and going away. And I've tested it several times. However, now my headache is back. I'm not going home to go get medicine, especially store-bought. Nope. Because I will go home and make my own. However, I am going to meditate. And I am going to rejuvenate my body through meditation. Breathing fresh air, breathing exercises, resets. And when you are speaking to certain parts of your body, which you can change through the energy that you give to yourself, when you learn how to do that, you can take certain ailments completely away from you. Don't judge me. I'm just saying, it is possible. I won't say it if it wasn't. I'm not coming on here to look like a fool and be saying nonsense. Try it. That's all I can say. You try it for yourself. Tap into what it is to take a meditation very serious. You understand? And you will understand to gather that control for your body so that you can change your reactions, how your body reacts. You understand? So again, I'm going to leave that right there. I've said plenty. And of course, I can continue because this is an amazing lifestyle. Self-love, self first is amazing. And when you tap into self-loving self first, you live better. You are better. You're a better person to be around. You understand? I have a lot of people that are around me that, you know, they kind of like, they don't understand it. They're probably still living under programs, and they're still living under a certain way of being, and this is what happens to them. And technically that's considered being very linear, when you think one way and this is what works for me and this is it, that's it, nothing else. But you need to understand quantum healing, quantum, multiple. You understand? That's where it's at. And when you understand quantum healing, that is definitely a self-love, self-first trait. When you understand meditation and what it does for you and what you can do under meditation, that is a self-love, self-first trait. Eating well, exercising, loving yourself. Should I continue? Because I think I've already said this. And not only have I said this in this video, but I've also mentioned other things in other videos. So when you get a chance, go ahead and look at my other videos so you can see the importance and the dedication that it takes for you to be able to make a change in your life and adjust to what's going on today. Don't let nothing stress you out. Don't let nobody play with you. Okay? And there is a way how to do it without being mean, being a boss bitch. Yeah. Or being too masculine. Or for the dudes being too feminine. Yes, there is a way how to live life and live it well. Through self-love. Self first. At all times.